Hey Cancer, Happy New Year! Welcome to your 2012 forecast. I'm excited to jump right on in here. We're going to pull one card for each month from this deck here. And then at the end, we're going to pull a card to see which angel is going to be with Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the year 2020. We're going to give this a few shuffles, 5 good shuffles, 3, 4, and 5. I shuffled a bit off camera as well. Gonna see January 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. Ooh, and our first card is Queen of Wands. This is very much a card of action. Okay, I love to see Queen of Wands. So this is telling us that a lot of you Cancers are coming into the 2020 calendar year ready. Like you guys, you're ready for change. You're ready to make things happen. Some of you might even be coming into 2020 with this air of being very fed up. Okay, when I see the Queen of Wands come up, it's like usually comes up for people that in their life they've always kind of been taught to be the peacemaker and just don't rock the boat, right? So you maybe try to get along with everybody and you work very hard and you try to be patient. But when Queen of Wands comes up, especially in a career or work type of situation, it's like she realizes, and I'm saying she because here it's depicted by a female, but it doesn't matter if you're male or female or if you, whatever you identify as. I'm just using the word she, but it's still relevant. She realizes her strengths, her talents, her abilities, and what she brings to the table. And she realizes that she's sorely underappreciated and maybe even underutilized, like not being given an opportunity to do more. So she gets fed up. She says, enough is enough and I'm done. I'm over it. I don't have time for pettiness. Don't have time for drama. Don't have time to get into anybody's whatever. And sets off to either go find a job somewhere else where she's going to get paid what she deserves and do the kind of work she's capable of doing, or this is a lot of the time it's for me an entrepreneur card. She sets off to make money for herself. Like I'm tired of making other people rich. It's time for me to do it for myself. So progress happens in a very short period of time thereafter because she's so motivated. Like she's so determined. She's so over it, like fed up in a good way. It's going to be applying for you guys in different ways because it's a general reading. In a love situation, it could be a very passionate connection. It could be something with a third party at times. What I'm going to do in the extended is I'm going to pull clarifiers. That's what the other little diamonds are here for. And then we'll go a little bit deeper. But I know some people get tired of hearing me talk during the reading, so we're just going to move on along to the next card. And we're going to see what else is coming up in February. So February, please show us February 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, so we have Page of Pentacles. So this could be a good indicator that for a lot of you all, that Queen of Wands that's happening for you in January is something pertaining to business, pertaining to your career and how you're wanting to make money. Because Page of Pentacles can absolutely be some kind of new undertaking, something that you're doing or investing in or thinking about your business in a bigger way. So for a lot of you, I feel like what this card is saying by coming up is do not, whatever you do not be discouraged and do not underestimate the steps that you're taking, right? You might have a very clear idea of I thought I had this phone on silent and I hardly get phone calls on this other line, yet it happens. So Cancer, this is a sign from the universe saying listen very, very carefully. You may have very big plans and ideas and the start may be so small compared to where you want to go or where you're trying to get to. But this is saying don't underestimate that. Understand everything starts with one step. You got to start from somewhere. And Page of Pentacles is starting, in a very rooted, grounded kind of way. So even though it might not be a massive leap, it's definitely a step that's going to be a stable one, that's going to help you lay down a foundation. Page of Pentacles can also ask you to kind of pay attention to your relationship with money. That's one of the issues people have when sometimes people come to me for readings and they say, hey, Amethyst, I want to know what's blocking me financially. Like, why hasn't, what I wanted to manifest, why hasn't it come in? There's a lot of different blocks, but sometimes one of the blocks is we need to change our relationship with money. Spirit wants to bless us, but Spirit knows because of where the relationship with money is, if that blessing comes in now, we're going to burn right through that money in like no time, and then we're going to be right back where we started again. And that doesn't mean that you're a big spender. It could just be that there's these underlying beliefs that like, there's no way it would work out for you, or it's selfish of you to hold on to it and you should help other people instead. And there could be all these ways in which we end up, shooting ourselves in the foot financially, and we don't even realize it. So this coming up in February does tell me you guys are making certain investments or plans. You're getting smarter about where you're investing your time. You're getting smarter about where you're putting your money. You're calculating something for yourself in terms of business, future savings. Some of you may be taking money out of the bank and figuring out ways of putting it into investments or things that are going to bring you back a higher return over time. So this is the whole working smarter, not harder kind of energy. And you might be also being asked to look at your relationship with money. What are your beliefs about money? Why have things not worked out for you in the past financially? How much of that are you blaming yourself for? How much of that is because you just think you can't catch a break? So maybe journaling or writing about this can be very, very helpful as well. Again, we're going to move on along because I'm not going to ramble too much here. Let's see what's happening for you all in March. March of 2020, please, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh my goodness, and we have the artist. I really like this. So, you guys have heard me say in the other videos that when the major arcana cards come up, they come up because it's a very significant time for us in our path. Like there's a life lesson that we're learning. There's something that's happening that's putting us on the right path. In the right direction, something with a life lesson, life purpose. Now, if you're like me, you haven't heard of the artist as a major arcana card before. You're not going to see it in the traditional Rider-Waite or in a lot of the tarot decks we see today. But apparently, from this deck I have learned, there's actually 2 other major arcana cards that don't make it in certain decks. So the artist is one of them. And this is actually about being able to channel, okay? It's about being able to disconnect from the distractions and the noise and the craziness that happens and just listen in that silence and the inspiration that arises. So a lot of you are going to be tapping into your creative side, and through that creative side, a lot of inspiration is going to come to you. A lot of answers are going to come to you. For some of you, as you're getting in this creative process, ideas will come to you in terms of business or in terms of, making things go better for you financially. For other ones of you, this creativity might be an avenue of abundance, right? You may discover certain creative talents or creative gifts that are beginning to become some kind of a hobby, that are beginning to bring in income, and before you know it, it could be a business that takes off to where it's what you're doing full time, or something that's helping you come up with money to put in other investments or into like retirement or things like this. So you're going to have a creative process. Now, there is one thing I want you to know, Cancer. Those of you that you've really been wanting to strengthen your psychic gifts and psychic abilities, this is going to be a super duper relevant month for you in March. Because what a lot of people don't realize, and if you watch my videos, you've heard me say it before, what a lot of people don't realize is that creativity and intuition go hand in hand. Okay, they're like sisters, brothers, cousins, whatever you want to put on it. They go hand in hand. Okay, they are related. So as you're getting into this creativity, your intuition increases. As your intuition increases, you're going to become more creative, People who are intuitive also happen to be creative. And a lot of artists, I've said this before, a lot of artists, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what I feel and what I sense, They're actually channeling. They're connecting with the universe, and they're pulling something from the universal consciousness, and they're bringing it into the physical realm. It was there floating around, wanting to be born, and the artist grabbed it, conceived it, gave birth to it. So it's a form of channeling. Okay, it's a form of channeling. So those of you where you've really been wanting to strengthen your spiritual connection, your intuition, creativity is going to be a big factor of that in March, right? And a lot of you will also be able to use this intuition in ways where you're thinking about how to get ahead, overcome issues, obstacles, things that you're wanting to change. The answers are going to begin coming in as you're disconnecting from the distractions and just allowing yourself to be in your inspiration, to connect with your passions. Let's go ahead and see what's coming up in April for our lovely, darling Cancer friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please show us April 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. We have Five of Pentacles. So this tells us that as you're conceiving these ideas, as these ideas are coming up, you are having fears about, oh my goodness, what's going to happen if I go out into this path? What's going to happen if I kind of go out on my own? You know, like, am I going to regret it? Is it going to be challenging? Is it going to be difficult? Five of Pentacles is a card that has to do with being worried about money, being worried about the unknown. So what's happening is you're getting really inspired. You're starting the year off fed up, and you're saying, this is my year for change. And you're starting to think about all the ways in which you can improve the situation. And you're feeling really, really good, and you're coming to this high. And then by April, you're starting to think of all the reasons why, oh my goodness, but I can't do it, which is the negative ego. So this card isn't coming up set in stone to say, oh, well, Cancer, April, it's telling you it's not going to happen. No, this card is coming up to give you a heads up and say, here's how you're going to change it this time around. Here's how it's going to be different, and here's how you're going to be able to succeed. Okay? You're going to come out of that lack mindset. The mindset of, oh, it's never going to work out. It can't work out. It's too hard. There's no way. And you're just going to take the steps. You know, courage isn't, you know, not having fear. Courage is continuing despite the fear, right? Realizing that something else is more important than the fear. Okay, so that's what's happening, is you're coming into your courage. And those of you who watch my videos, you've heard me say Five of Pentacles for me. A lot of the times it's like the Wizard of Oz card. You're going out into the unknown. You might be scared. Dorothy had no idea where she was going. She wasn't sure how to go about doing things. She was seeking out this wise mentor to give her the answers. And along that path, she found her friends who became like a soul family, this interesting group that came together and helped each other. So a lot of the times, Five of Pentacles indicates soul family. And I'm going to be straight up honest with you, Cancer. I think what a lot of you are going to realize as you're moving forward with these goals is you're realizing the people in your life that you're going to have to cut out because they're toxic, right? And some of you, this is very specific. I don't typically get this, but for some of you, you're realizing people that you thought were friends were really only drinking buddies. Okay, and so you're realizing that, hey, you know, and I'm not saying you can't drink alcohol, but some of you are realizing that, you know, it hasn't been productive. Like, we get together, we talk crap, we have fun, you know, we maybe have a few drinks. I'm not saying you're getting drunk with these people, and even if you are, you know, I'm not saying you can't never get drunk, but you're just realizing that I'm killing time, I'm wasting time. Whereas I can be productive, and I can find ways to blow off steam, and I can find ways to be happy in my life and to get in a good mood where I'm also creating. Like, I can release steam, blow off steam, and be productive and doing something towards my goals. So some of you are kind of scared because you're realizing that as you progress and as you become more successful, there's people that you're going to have to leave behind. And I really feel with this Five of Pentacles, even despite getting over like the mentality of lack, some of you are afraid that you're going to be lonely, that, wow, my life is really going to change and I'm not going to have anybody in my life. But like Wizard of Oz, she took those steps and she met those people. So a lot of the times with Five of Pentacles, we're going in through a transitional time that might be scary for us, but we end up finding our soul family along the way. Okay, so it's just kind of working past the fear. If you can work past the fear, you're going to have good results at the end. Just keep in mind that as we get into April, some of you are feeling that fear, and you're going to have to be aware of the negative ego and talk yourself through it, and remind yourself that, you know, whatever you release, something new will come in. So I really do feel a sense of like this is the beginning of the journey for a lot of you, where things are really going to begin to shift and things are really going to begin to change if you can be brave and go out into that unknown, into making those really big changes and really big steps. We'll go into it deeper in the extended, and I'll talk more about the extended at the end, but in the extended I will pull the clarifiers. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in the month of May for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please show us May for May 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. May 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh my goodness. And we were just talking about this guy. So in May 2020, you have the Devil. Okay. Now, if you want to look at the tarot cards from the mindset of Zodiac, it can indicate that you're dealing with a Capricorn, or something is going on with a Capricorn in May 2020. But we were just talking about fear. We were just talking about negative ego. So this could definitely indicate that that's what a lot of you are going to have to be working through in the month of May 2020. That negative ego might be coming up and giving you all of the reasons why this is too hard, or this is too big of a change, or this only works out for other people. It couldn't possibly work out for you. But, you know, we need to work past that. Cancer, there's a deeper message here for those of you who are very much on a spiritual path and who are really kind of ascending and really working on yourselves spiritually to break out of generational curses, and who are working very hard to kind of like heal, be on a healing journey, be on a cleansing journey. Those of you where you're shifting very quickly and ascending very quickly, I feel very strongly for some of you this is a karmic person. It doesn't have to be a Capricorn, but it's kind of what I call a shadow flame. And I've been saying I was going to do the shadow flame for the longest time, and there was a lot of obstacles in the way, but it is going to happen in 2020. I'm going to talk more about the shadow flame. The shadow flame can feel like a twin flame, but really it's like the Joker to your Batman. Okay, like it's just it's toxic, and it's absolutely somebody who's coming in to pull you away from your growth. So they will show up in your life. They'll be in and out, and if you pay attention, you'll realize the only time, and a shadow flame can be male, female, non-binary, whatever, it doesn't matter. Shadow flame is going to show up right when you're doing your best or you're beginning to improve. And you're like, oh, okay, they've learned their lesson and now we're going to be together. And all of a sudden they completely and totally derail you again. And that's their whole purpose. Their whole purpose in your life is to try to keep you from breaking out of that generational curse or that karmic cycle, right? They bait you, they pull you back in, and they sabotage you. They don't realize that they're doing it. They don't know that they're doing it. They don't know that they're a shadow flame. But a lot of you are going to have this person show up right when you were at the crossroads, right when you were at the threshold of ascending to a higher level. This person is coming in and saying, nope, not going to happen, my darling, you know, and you're going to be able to say, if you're strong enough, yeah, it is, bye, you know. So for some of you, don't be surprised if this person's showing up in May 2020. And the fact that it's the Devil card tells me that not only are they coming in, they're coming in hard. They're pulling out all the stops. Okay, so you're going to have to be strong and realize and not be deceived by that person. Okay, for other ones of you, this is going to be continuing to work past the fear and the doubts and the insecurities that have held you back. It's going to be about a time for you to really kind of pump up your self-esteem, realize your gifts, your talents, your abilities. These are general readings, so the energies are going to apply in different ways. Keep this in mind. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in June as we're heading into the summer Cancer season. What is happening in June 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please? June, oops, I dropped some cards. June 2020. And the card that we have for June, oh my goodness, what a confirmation. What a confirmation. I love this, Cancer. Okay, ready? Ace of Cups. Those of you who watch my videos, you have heard me talk about this. And wow, I just got chills. Guys, I got chills. Woo! Ace of Cups is definitely a happy card in general, right? Like in traditional tarot, we already know when we see it that it's going to signify emotionally rewarding experiences, things that are bringing us happiness, joy. It could be like a soulmate kind of love. It can be very satisfying experiences. So when we see Ace of Cups, we know good things are happening. Now, every tarot reader has certain cards that have a little bit of an extra meaning for them. And Ace of Cups is one of those. Over the years reading for people, I have seen Ace of Cups comes up when you are shifting a massive karmic situation with the universe and you're coming into a new contract of positive karma. So we've all in our life been through experiences where we have the same thing repeat again and again and again and again. And finally we're like, oh my God, universe, I'm so over this. I'm so done. I'm sick of feeling this way. I'm sick of the same situation. I've learned my lesson. I know what to look out for. I know what the red flags are. I'm over this. I'm never doing this again. I'm done. Universe says, yes, awesome. Cancer is awake. Cancer no longer needs pain to just kind of like poke them or wake them up or motivate them. Cancer is ready to learn through happiness, positive experiences, joy, just accomplishment, love, all of those positive things. Like now you're ready for the positive karma lessons. It's kind of like in school. There's some teachers the kids dread. Like, oh man, I hope I don't get that teacher. And there's some teachers that the kids are like, oh my God, you're so lucky you got that teacher. You got Mr. or Miss whatever. Oh my God, I wish I was in their class. Because that teacher teaches in a really fun way. Right? So you're coming into that fun class. You're coming into the class with the fun teacher. And so you begin to have your karmic lessons coming in through the happy karma, the higher end of karma. All right? So what did I say about the previous month? I was talking about a shadow flame. So for some of you, as soon as you put your foot down with that person, that karma is done. That cycle is ended. You are never going to have to see that fool again. You are going to be done once and for all, and you are making space for the higher vibrational soulmate. Okay? Other ones of you, maybe this isn't a karmic situation, a shadow flame, but maybe it's a karmic situation where you have a boss or a family member or even a random stranger that's making you feel bad about yourself in some way or making you doubt yourself in some way. In May, and then in June, let's say it's happening in May, and then you take that stand and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to let this person inside my head. I'm not going to let this person make me doubt myself. I know my worth. I know what I have to offer. And you're coming into this energy of this person's not going to faze me. They're not going to hold me down. I'm done with being held down. And then in June, all of a sudden, it's like, wow, you're starting to experience the benefits of that shift. Because you've woken up. You've made that statement to the universe where you've said, I'm not going to tolerate this nonsense. I'm not going to let this, crap hold me down, And so the universe is like, great, awesome. Now you're ready for the good stuff. So whatever's happening for you in May is a shadow flame, a romantic situation, or whether it is just life in general or employers or family, if you take that stand, you're going to find by June, things are really shifting for you, where you feel like you're coming into good luck, right? And you deserve it. Why shouldn't you have it, right? Absolutely. You deserve it as much as anybody else. Let's go ahead and see what's happening for you all in July 2020. So please show us July 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Hoo-hoo-hoo! More confirmation. What did we say? Right? Happy experiences, learning through happy experiences. And here we have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is going to indicate several things. First and foremost, it's going to indicate for us an energy of things to celebrate, things to be happy about, things to enjoy. But Three of Cups is also going to indicate coming into like-minded people, finding your clique, finding your group. It can also be collaborating on business ideas together or networking, you know, opportunities coming your way through positive kind of networking. It can indicate engagements. It can indicate birth announcements. It can indicate many different things. It is a general reading, so it's going to apply to you guys in different ways. Again, in the extended, I will pull the clarifiers, but for the sake of time, we're keeping this kind of condensed and short here. Overall, for the majority of you, the feeling and the vibe that I'm getting here with this Three of Cups is that you are getting people in your life who are actually supportive. Remember with that Five of Pentacles, some of you had fear because you were like, man, I don't want to be lonely. There's all these people that are, you know, I'm going to have to distance myself from, and maybe having them is better than not having any friends. Well, as long as you're moving forward, what you're going to find is that by July, you have people who are coming in and singing your praises, who are encouraging you, who are supporting you, who might even be like people that you can network with in your side hobbies and businesses and things like this, where, you know, they don't do the same thing as you, but it may be related enough to where you're able to like cross refer one another, you know, like, you know, oh, I can do this for you and you can do that for me, or you know, help each other out or send each other clients because you do different things, right? Like maybe you're a dietitian and you know you happen to meet somebody who's a really great personal trainer, and you might send them to that personal trainer, and that personal trainer says, okay, well, great, if I have any, you know, clients who are having issues losing weight and you know, diet plans and stuff aren't working for them, maybe I can send them to you and you're more of an expert and you can figure out more what's going to be good for them, right? Or you're a hairdresser and you know somebody who does really great esthetician type stuff, or whatever, vice versa. You get what I'm saying. You all don't do the same thing, but you absolutely are going to be able to send each other business. For some of you, it's coming up in that way, okay? But overall, I just feel supportive energy, like real friends who are going to have your back, who are higher vibrational, who are going to be upbuilding, and who aren't going to be wasting your time, okay? We're going to go into the next card here with August. Please show us August 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And this is that other major arcana card I was talking about. Remember when I was saying how there was two major arcana cards that I had no idea about until working with this deck, and this is the other one. So the well is going to be, it's connected with earth energy, okay? So this is going to be about you kind of connecting with earth energy. And this is, again, about inspiration, but it's a little bit different. It's going to be more inspiration or ideas having to do with your physical stability, or things that physically you're going to be able to create or to manifest. So some of you might be getting ideas about inventions, or you might be getting ideas about, you know, products or services that you can include in an existing business to further your income, or ways in which you can maybe do better in your career or advance in your career, or ways in which maybe you can apply your skills in different ways. I do feel that for a lot of you, Cancer, that in the month of August, you are going to benefit connecting with nature. And that as you're connecting with nature, you are going to really be able to think clearly and have some very brilliant ideas come your way about establishing your foundation, you know, getting rooted, you know. And I keep hearing retirement. I think a lot of you are really thinking about retirement. And so as you're in nature, you're going to have a lot of these ideas and answers come to you. Okay. I do feel some of you are going to get into practices of grounding that are going to be really beneficial for you. There's lots of different ways to ground. One of the common ones that some people really like to do, people who have a hard time with meditating, is taking off their shoes, being barefoot, and just kind of walking around in the grass or in the sand or whatever in their bare feet. You know, if that doesn't work for you, you know, sometimes maybe like sitting under a tree or just being present in the moment can be very helpful. There's many different ways, but I do feel, Cancer, that a lot of you intuitively are feeling like you need to be in nature, you need the fresh air, you need to practice being in your body and grounding yourself, and a lot of ideas are coming your way. I feel that now that you're getting a taste of success, and now that you're having enough evidence in your life that you're not doomed to fail and that things can work out for you, now all of a sudden in August, the ideas are really starting to come in. When you're like, oh my goodness, yes, all right, well, what am I going to try next? And this could work and that could work. So it's like this brainstorming, very positive brainstorming that's going to be happening for a lot of you in August. Alrighty, my darlings, we're going to go ahead and see what's happening in September 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh, wow, it's you all. You've got King of Cups, right? So this could be a water sign. The fact that it's coming up for you guys, Cancer, I'm going to read it a little bit differently than I would for other people or other signs. The fact that it's coming up for you guys are water, right? And this is the element of water. The fact that King of Cups is coming up tells me that you're going to be in your powerful, positive Cancer elements, right? But you're also really in those creative juices, those creative flow that's coming in. But the fact that the King of Cups is coming in is like now you're ready to take action. You're ready to take steps to make this real. Really to do this. So I feel what's happening for you all is that what's happening is in let me just double check the months here. Okay. We just had August, right? And August was about brainstorming, all these ideas coming in. So what's happening in September is you are now ready to take action. You're ready to come up with the strategy on how to make it real, right? Like all these ideas came in. Now September is the time for the planning on how you're going to make it happen, right? It's not going to be like all the other times, all the years before, where you have an idea and you say, oh yeah, well that's a good idea. And then a few minutes later, oh, that's never going to work, forget it, right? You're actually, okay, well, maybe this is going to be an obstacle in this way, but how could I get around that obstacle? How can I still make this idea work? You're really coming into the strategy, the planning, and taking action, right? It's not just going to be some little, pipe dream. It's going to be something that you're making happen. You're taking the steps to make it happen. Let's go ahead and see what's happening for our darling Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising friends in October 2020. Alrighty. Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card that comes up when meditation and prayer can be very, very helpful. It also comes up in times that I have seen over the years reading when somebody is mentally and emotionally exhausted. When you've just got a lot going on and you're really, really tired and you just need some space and some time alone. Okay? It can also imply some kind of travel in that disconnecting. So you might decide that, you know what, I think I want to go away for a little bit. Maybe you want to go on a spiritual retreat, or maybe pilgrimage to some place that's very special to you, that holds a religious significance or a family significance, or just some place that has always resonated with you. Some of you will be taking some kind of travel to some place to further just kind of recharge and to plan and to just kind of rest before you come into action. So I feel whatever you're planning is going to be pretty big for some of you. Pretty big. Whether you're putting something massive out there creatively or in terms of business, or whether what you're about to do is going to be massive for you on a personal level, where you're going to be taking a stand that might be upsetting people around you or changing your dynamic in a very big way, and on a personal level it's huge and kind of scary. You may be taking a little bit of a break to rest. Keep in mind the card prior to this was King of Cups. And so King of Cups could indicate many people have begun to see you as successful, and they're coming to you for help. They're coming to you asking you for stuff. And so now you're coming into the energy where you're wanting to disconnect and rest, because you may have a lot of people that are being clingy or needy or coming up to you with your hands out. If that's the case, fear not, because one of the beautiful things about King of Cups is that even though he can be very generous, he's also very smart. He's not going to be taken for a fool, and he's going to be able to see through people. So he knows when to withhold. He knows when to withhold, and he knows when to give. So a lot of you are beginning to have boundaries, and that's feeling very exhausting for you. And so you may feel in October that you need to spend some time alone, that you just need to just get away and recharge. I do feel, though, a sense of travel, and it feels to me like sometimes this can feel like going on a spiritual retreat. And although that might be true for some of you, I'm not really getting the spiritual retreat vibe. Like, I don't feel like you're going to like a yoga retreat or something. Maybe some of you are, but it feels more to me something that is meaningful to you on a personal level. Like, I've always wanted to go and see the pyramids of Egypt, and just something about being there, going to the pyramids, seeing it, taking it in. It's very spiritual for you, but it's something you're doing on your own, right? Or I've always wanted to go and see Stonehenge, or like whatever, someplace that you've always kind of been drawn to. And I feel this is like you going, it's like you being in your little cocoon or your little incubator. And then when you come back from this break, it's like you're really ready to start moving forward, For other ones of you, it could just be you're spending more time alone and resting and disconnecting. But I do feel for a lot of you, there may be some kind of plan to go to some place that's special to you. Let's go ahead and check out your November. Please show us November 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alrighty. So, yeah, Three of Pentacles is collaboration, planning. It can also indicate that somebody is coming in and mentoring you on a career level. So as November comes in, you may be preparing to up your game. Okay, you may be finding people that you're collaborating with. You may have an employer that is like taking you under like some kind of training where they're preparing you for something bigger. But definitely when Three of Pentacles comes in, it's establishing something very significant. Like foundation, laying the foundation of something that you're going to be able to build upon, and something that's going to be able to be here for a while. Those of you where you're manifesting a relationship in 2020, Three of Pentacles tells me that this is someone who is going to feel pretty sure about you. Like, yeah, I really think this is my person. But they're just really wanting to be extra sure that you guys have the same beliefs, the same priorities. They're wanting to be in this for the long haul. And they want to know that if they're committing and that if this is going next level, that it's actually going to last. So you could have somebody that you just really feel like, oh my goodness, this is my person. They're feeling it too, but Three of Pentacles also says they really kind of want to go slow, right? So some of you might have somebody coming in and you might be feeling really impatient. And this is saying, fear not, you know, they're into you. They don't have commitment issues. They just really want to make sure you are who they think you are. Okay, that could be happening too with the Three of Pentacles. Let's go ahead and see December 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please show us December 2020 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh, goodness gracious. We've got the Judgment card. Major arcana. So, this is a really big step, a really big transition. Judgment is going to indicate a few different things. Judgment can be where you're feeling called to do something very specific, like called into a spiritual calling. You feel like you're meant to do something more. You kind of have an idea of what it is, and you're feeling guided to take steps towards helping others or doing something in a very specific way that you feel is going to help others in this world, on this planet. Judgment card can also indicate, my darlings, that you have a situation where some person or job or situation is no longer aligned with your beliefs and is like lower vibrational, and you're having to make the choice or the decision to walk away from it or let it go. I feel like there's so many positive changes that are happening for you in 2020, Cancer, that by the time you get to the end of the year, you're going to have a lot to assess. You're going to be thinking about what's going to be happening in the coming year. And as much progress as you've made, and as much as maybe toxic people you may have walked away from, I think a lot of you are like, well, I don't want to get, I'm grateful for the financial abundance that has come in, but I don't want to get too carried away with the financial abundance. And so some of you are thinking about ways in which you can have more of a positive impact, right? Whether it's to take that and to start organizations that are going to be helpful, or make more time to volunteer, or do your work or your business in an ethical way. I'm hearing environmentalism. I don't know if some of you are getting into like ways in which you're wanting to help the environment or doing something, activism or something. So you may just be looking at your life in ways in which you can give back or pay forward. And we don't always pay forward or give back financially, you know. For some of you that may be the case, but some of you may be paying it forward in different ways, where you're like, well, I'm blessed with this abundance, I'm blessed with what's coming in. Some of you are even establishing like this passive income where money's coming in and you don't necessarily have to put in a whole lot of, you know, hours of traditional work. So you may have free time on your hands, and you're asking yourself, how am I going to use this time in a way that matters? So really big decisions in that way. Again, this is a general reading, so the energies apply in different ways. In the extended video, I will pull the clarifiers. You may need a private reading. We'll get to that in just a moment. But let's see what angel is going to be with Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the year 2020. So what angel will be with Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the year 2020? Archangel Gabriel. Okay, so this is going to be, what were we just talking about, my darlings? Can you see that there? Oh, if it could focus. Why isn't it focusing? Well, I will read it to you because my camera's being a jerk right now. But it says, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. We were just talking about that, about how this abundance was going to be coming in, and you were going to be thinking about ways to like further what else you wanted to do and how to, like, you know, pay it forward. And this is really confirming that. It's absolutely confirming that. Okay, Archangel Gabriel is the angel of creativity. Archangel Gabriel is the angel of projects, of new energy. So some of you may even be looking into doing something in terms of expanding your family or having a child or adopting. Sometimes, you know, Archangel Gabriel is associated with childbirth. But overall messages, you know, channeling, things of this nature. So some of you are really kind of looking into ways of getting into doing something more meaningful in that way. Those of you who have really been like, man, I really want to be able to pick up on the messages that Spirit is trying to give me. Archangel Gabriel showing up is a confirmation for you that this is going to be happening for you in 2020, because Gabriel is the messenger. Gabriel is the messenger who brings messages to humans from God, from heaven. Okay, so messages are coming in for you. It's going to be a very, very transformational year, Cancer. And I'm excited for you guys. I know a lot of you have been needing this. Check out your weekly readings. In the meantime, those weekly readings, I do them every single week to kind of, you know, help along the way. You might need a private reading for 2020. You can click on the Calendly link in the description of this video if you want to schedule a private reading for yourself. If you can't afford a private reading right now, or it's just not a good time, but you want a little bit more, the extended readings are going to be very affordable, guys. The instructions are in the description. All you have to do is PayPal $4.44 to the information there in the description. And in the memo, when you submit the PayPal, let me know which zodiac sign you want the extended for, and I will get that out to you within 48 hours. You'll get a link to the extended video, and then you'll have the clarifiers popping up. But I thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning, which hasn't been too long, thank you for being here. Those of you who are new, welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll stick around and watch the weekly videos. And I wish you all a blessed, amazing, prosperous, healthy, happy, abundant 2020. Take care, Cancer.